Hello, lovelies. It is Jasmina. I am here today. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I like to post a lot of polls and stuff like that and like get your guys' advice on things you want to learn about, things you want to hear. So, recently I have been like talking to people and have had people that follow me come and message me and stuff like that. And I've realized that a lot of people really struggle with meditation, and I don't think really understand it. And I want to kind of like clear some stuff up and kind of give some tips and tricks because I always hear stuff. And I've been doing meditation, yoga, since I was 15. And then I started dedicating my life to this path about 3 years ago. So that's when I kind of got into a morning routine. So for the last like 5 months, I've been meditating daily, doing yoga daily, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I kind of wanted to like come give some tips and stuff like that and brief history. So there's a lot of misconceptions I hear. I think the biggest thing is that like I can't sit still, or there's also the I can't stop my mind. Dude, it's nearly impossible to not have a single thought. That's not not what meditation is. The goal of meditation by the I can't pronounce his name, Patanjali. He's the one that wrote the Ashtanga Yoga, which is the eight limb path, but there he talks a lot about meditation. Um he describes it as its main goal is calming the fluctuations of the mind. It's not about stopping the mind, it's about calming down the mind. There are also many, many different types of meditation. So, if you are somebody, for example, that struggles with sitting still, you can do dance meditations. You can do meditations when you're washing the dishes or while you're vacuuming. Instead of listening to music, instead of maybe watching a podcast, pay attention to the present moment. That's the biggest thing of meditation is paying attention to the present moment, to what is happening right now. So meditation is defined as a process of self-discovery and self-exploration. So it's all about learning more about yourself, learning more about how you think. Maybe I'm going to talk about brain waves a little bit later, but slowing down your brain waves and getting into the subconscious mind. That is all, again, it's not, how do I say, the goal, but it's like a benefit that after time and practice, you'll start to receive more benefits. It is a skill that takes time. But personally, something I've noticed is that it has given me a reason to practice DBT skills. Because one of the things I'm going to mention later is thought diffusion. That's a DBT skill, but meditation is what taught me how to use it. So a lot of people, when they think of yoga, they think of the physical postures. Now, the physical postures are called asana, and they are a part of yoga. Meditation is also a part of yoga. There is a lot more to yoga than just asana, and I would love to talk more about that if anybody's interested in that stuff. But meditation is one of the more advanced limbs of yoga. So the Patanjali, in his text, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, I most likely did, but meditation is one of the last steps. So it is actually in his writing, it is important to know asana because it helps steady the body. So to do yoga, like physical postures. And it is also good to start getting more familiar with your breath and using breath work, also known as pranayama, which I've talked about pranayama on my Instagram. I made a video, but I also want to talk more about it on here in other videos. So this is another like purpose of meditation. Uh, Meditation is a state of awareness we can reach by bringing awareness into the body and stilling the mind. It's about noticing the thoughts while not getting attached to them. Thought diffusion. It's also about developing awareness and presence, figuring out how your body feels, figuring out what's going on, and being able to sit through mental discomfort. So sometimes I'll be in meditation and I'll think about something that happened in the past that still triggers me. And it's like, I just want to get out of meditation and distract myself. But instead, I sit there and I use thought diffusion, and it helps me get more used to that comfort and know ways to escape from it and ways to cope with it. A lot of texts and stuff like that, and even guided meditations, excuse me, will say, get in a comfortable seated position. Personally, I have found in my own practice that when I'm trying to still my mind and calm myself down and get into like a different, a more calming brain frequency, I just want to lay the fuck down. Sometimes it's fun to lay the fuck down, put on a fucking eye mask, and put a crystal on your third eye. It's a vibe. And personally, I have found that I like that a lot more than sometimes sitting up. That being said, when you sit up, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Being comfortable is the most important thing. If the guided meditation is telling you get in a comfortable seated position, and you're in a seated position and you're like, my fucking back hurts, everything hurts, lay the fuck down. There is no right or wrong way to do this. It is all about what works for you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about brainwaves. I'm not going to get really into this, but everything I'm getting is from Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So there are 5 brain frequencies. Now there is beta, which is the one you're in 95% of the time when you're awake. And there are 3 ranges of that. There's high range, which is your stress, fight or flight, angry, all that kind of stuff. Low range, you're relaxed, but you're aware of your body and you're aware of your surroundings. Then there's mid-range. That's good stress. Like you're introducing yourself to a group, or you're doing a presentation, or you're meeting a new friend. Then the next range is next wave is alpha brainwaves. Now this is when you slip into a very relaxed and calm state. So you start daydreaming and imagining, and you're no longer thinking and analyzing. Then the next one is theta brainwave. So this is like the twilight zone right before you fall asleep. This state can also be achieved during very deep meditative practices and such. Then the next one is delta. Now, delta brainwaves are the ones you're in when you're asleep, or restorative sleep, which the way I looked at restorative sleep, I guess, and interpreted it was yoga nidra, which is a state in which you completely relax the body, and you let the body almost go to sleep while the mind's awake. Then the next one is gamma brain waves. Now, gamma brain waves are when you are in a meditative practice and you are extremely aroused, excited by something that is happening in your inner world, not something that's happening in the outer world. So beta is like the outer world, and then all the other ones are when you start getting into the inner world. So I'm going to give a few tips. Now, first of all, I always kind of hear people mentioning like doing long meditations. When you first start off, don't do long meditations. If you just want to sit there and get like a timer app and do a 3-minute meditation, that's good. You want to do a 5-minute meditation? Awesome. That's amazing. Good for you. It is not any type of race. It's not any type of proving yourself. It's a skill you develop over time. Now, when you're in meditation, your brain is going to keep going. It's going to try to go into past. It's going to try to go into present, into what ifs. And you can't get frustrated with yourself. You can't sit there and say, oh, I can't do this. You have to bring it back. And this is where I talk about thought diffusion, because spirituality, honestly, and yoga has really helped me personally take therapy skills and turn them into like a lifestyle and turn them into something that actually makes sense to me. So, thought diffusion, I'm going to use two examples. There is the idea that your thought is like a cloud and you're observing it. You're observing. That's important. You are the observer of your mind. So you're observing the thought and watching it just float away. Another thought is like it's a leaf in a stream and it's just going down the stream. And you are seeing it, you notice the thought is there, but you are letting it pass. So, one of the most important things in meditation is trying to stay in the present moment. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to go out of the present moment. Your brain's not going to go off and you're going to start thinking about what ifs. But you have to try and bring that focus back and bring that energy back and just be the observer. Just observe it. Observe how it makes you feel. How does that thought make you feel? Does it make you feel sad? I honestly, personally fucking love getting out a feeling chart. Get out a feeling chart and see how it makes you feel if you're really struggling to name your emotions. But when you are in meditation, it's important to start focusing on the inner world. And that's why I really like body scans, because it really helps you focus on, like, I am paying attention to my right foot right now. It really helps you direct that focus. Let me know if any of these tips are actually helpful, because I am sitting here recording it, being like, I wonder if anybody is actually like finding this helpful. Like, so let me know. Let me know. I would appreciate that. But there's a few other little tips I wanted to give before I end this video off. I don't want it to be too long. So the first thing is, in the last one, I started talking about body scans. Body scans are so helpful. And if you're just beginning, just do a 5-minute body scan. No fucking shame in that. But body scans pretty much get you to pay attention to everything in your body. So the longer it is, the more detailed it is. But an example would be like, pay attention to your right thumb, the palm of your right hand, the back of your right hand, your ring finger, like shit like that. Body scans are very helpful for bringing your attention from the outer world into the inner world and really helping you stay in the present moment. Now, mind you, your attention is going to go off, but you need to not be mean to yourself. You need to be kind during this time and just be like, oh, oop, I observed that my thought pattern went off. Let's get it back on track and tune into the video. That's why guided meditations are honestly really helpful, especially for beginners. But you can also use breath work. So I personally believe breath work is a perfect way to start off a practice, because it really helps calm you down. And if you want to learn more about breath work, go look at my Instagram link down below. But breath work and just paying attention to your belly, inhale and exhale, and feeling everything is really good for calming your brain down and getting you into lower, that's not the word, but like calmer frequencies. Thank you. So I have a breathwork recommendation to help you begin. I personally like to do this when I'm doing my own meditations, not guided meditations, because it really helps me focus and it really helps bring that attention inwards. So it's called 3-part breath. So you breathe into the belly, into the ribs, and then into the chest, like the collarbones. And you exhale the chest, exhale the ribs, like a wave. And you do a few rounds of that. That's one of my favorite ways to start a meditation, because it really does get your brain into a calmer frequency. Now, there are also other tools that can make meditation easier. So there is mantras and affirmations. Mantras are like Sanskrit affirmations. A lot more to that, but that's like a basic. So a personal affirmation I really like that's also connected to the root chakra, which represents your physical body, is I am here and I am safe. That can be very helpful when you're in the past or present. Just be like, I am here and I am safe. And whenever you notice your attention going off, bringing it back to that affirmation. There are also things called mudras that you can use to help. Now, the only mudras I'm going to be talking about are Asta mudras. Asta mudras translate to hand mudras. Now, mudras translated from Sanskrit means seal. Jnana mudra is the mudra of knowledge. So, Jnana mudra is both of your hands like this, palm down, and it essentially focuses the mind, it calms the mind, and it connects you to your inner wisdom. It also helps clear the mind. So it's very, very, very helpful when you're very, very anxious and stuff's going on in your brain to use Jnana mudra. Now, the next one I can't pronounce, but I have it written down. Where is it? There it is. Shunya. I suck at pronunciation, I'm sorry. But that is translated to mudra of the heavens, or sky, or spaciousness. So mudra of the heavens helps with mental clarity. It helps you connect with your consciousness and your spirituality. And that mudra is this and your middle finger. So those are some mudras. Then you can also use crystals. I personally love when I'm laying down to put a crystal on my third eye because that's connected to your intuition. And some of my favorite crystals to use with this, or I do really like quartz. Quartz are nice and simple. Clear quartz is a nice clearing, helps bring in healing energy. And rose quartz is a really good one if you are someone who's going to hate on yourself a lot for your attention going into the outer world. If you're somebody who's going to be like, fuck, I did that again, like, and get mad at yourself, grab rose quartz. I also personally like crystals attached to intuition. So I have labradorite, kyanite, opal, and then there are a few other ones. And I recommend really looking into them and finding one that fits for you. And hold the crystal and say your intention and ask it for help. So those are some of my suggestions for getting into meditation. I don't want this video to be too long, but if you want more, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an amazing day, lovelies. Bye.